guys, my name is Morgan and today I'm going to be showing you some eyeshadow palette combinations that I think go well together. So like basically color stories that either mesh well together or I think complement each other. I do have 4 pairings today, so I'm just going to show those to you guys right now. The first one I have is it's the Melt Season Parties palette, which I have to be careful because one of the shades is kind of broken. Honestly, I thought I was going to be a lot more of a fan of this palette than I actually am. But there's the palette. I'm holding it weird because, again, that broken shade at the end. But there's the one palette. It's just a little bit more plummy than I wanted, and also, like, darker toned than I expected. And, I don't know, the broken shade doesn't really help. And then the next one we have is the LA Girl Break Free. And then this palette looks like this. So let me get the other one open again. Alright, so these are the 2 palettes, and basically I feel like they do kind of have complementary colors, like they're both like purpley pinky tones. This one, however, is a lot more vibrant and saturated. It's just the brighter shades, like it's got like a hot pink and like purples and things like that. And this is more plummy, so I figured together you can mix and match with these pretty well. The next pairing I have is the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette and the BH Cosmetics Cherry on top. So the palettes look like this, and I'm sure you can kind of see where I went with this. I went based off of the, first of all, it's a Christmas palette, so like the red one, obviously, I felt like would work the best. I went after that hot pink shade in the Gingerbread Spice palette, and kind of was like what would complement it best, and then I held them together, and I feel like they do complement each other quite nicely. The mattes down at the end of the Cherry on top palette I feel like would go really well with the deeper shimmers, and I feel like all in all these 2 palettes kind of are like best friends. They go together well. The next pairing I have I feel like goes the best together, honestly. This is the ABH Jackie Aina palette, and then I have the HSBT Paradise Fallen palette. Hold them like this, and I feel like you can kind of see the similarities. I sort of pulled from the ABH Jackie Aina has that one purple shade, and the matte. And as I go, that would go well with the Paradise Fallen, and then I kind of put them together, and the dark brown matte and that matte in there looks similar. And then just in general, I was like, oh, you could use this like green shade with some of those purple mattes. The silver mattes I feel like you could use with this what's this called, Lituation. I feel like a lot of the shades in those 2 palettes complement each other, and yeah, these are also both very rich in color and saturation, so I feel like together these are like the dream team. And then the last color combination or palette combination I have is the Alter Ego Goddess palette, which is the dupe for the Natasha Denona Gold palette, and the Ace Beauté Oceanic palette. So these are the 2 palettes side by side, and I feel like I'm sure you can see where I got my inspiration from, but I kind of pulled from those 2 like greeny shades in the gold palette or the Goddess palette, and I was like, oh well, if these 2 gold or green shades go into the Goddess palette, I'm sure I could put more in. So I figured like looking at it like this, that like the greens and the Oceanic palette kind of complement the gold, and then as well as some of those richer blues. I feel like these 2 kind of go together, and I just kind of expanded on the blue-green eyeshadows that are already in the Goddess palette. So I'm not sure how the brighter colors would go with it, but we could always experiment and try. Alright, I know that was a short video, but those are the only palettes that I kind of had in mind for this video. Comment down below if you can think of any off the top of your head that you think would go really well together. And do you ever use 2 palettes together, or do you kind of stick to one palette? I tend to stick to one palette and like just pull all of my shades that I want to use for a look from there, but I definitely feel like I should start using like those combinations and kind of mix and match. So let me know if you do that, and again, what color combinations are in your head. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye guys!